Okay. Now, welcome everybody. This is our fifth session. Now, today's topic is we are going to discuss about free time and our culture. Now, Saili ma'am is going to talk about the Indian culture, and now I'm going to talk about only about my hobbies and free time. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. As I'm a working woman, I get very less time to pursue my hobbies. As I told you, gardening is my hobby. For that, I get up early, take around all around my garden. I daily observe the plants with great interest. I literally converse with them. I shower with them water and they shower fragrance and colorful flowers on me to show their love, their gratitude. They give me hope, joy, and they regenerate me. My world is full of trees, plants, insects, birds, and animals. And I like to live in that world. Whenever I get tired or get upset, nervous, my plants are there to boost me. I forget everything, my problems, my worries. Sometimes I take my breakfast, morning tea, lunch, also in the garden. Garden is a part and parcel of my life. I will show you some of the flowers, some of the shots from my garden, snapshots. Instead of listening songs, I prefer to listen rustling of leaves, chirping of sparrows, cuckoo, honeybird, robin, and mynas. Honeybees humming. These all sounds are soothing and giving me comfort. It is very interesting to watch the movements of insects, ants, grasshoppers. They occupy my mind. I get fully engrossed in their world. I used to travel once a year, but only for 2 to 3 days. It is always in the midst of nature, just like forests, beaches, forts, sanctuaries. I visited many forts, Sindhudurg, Panhala, Raigad, Daulatabad, etc. But I like Raigad the most. So you can see the pictures. This is from Daulatabad. This is a big gun. Then this is from Raigad.
Ma'am, is it called Kaman?
Yes.
The gun, the big gun.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Then this is Raigad, Sindhudurg, Panhala, etc. But I like Raigad the most. I visited it thrice. I have spent 2 days and 2 nights on the fort. That experience was very thrilling. I have visited Karnala Bird Sanctuary. Then Tadoba Tiger Project, Mahabaleshwar, Matheran. Yeah, I also visited Murud Janjira Fort, which is in the midst of the sea. Then I have visited Mahabaleshwar, which is the hill station for Maharashtra. Matheran, this is also hill station. I have visited Rajasthan, Gujarat, South India. I have visited this temple of Tirupati and not more than that. Okay, I haven't seen more places like Saili ma'am. She has visited so many places. I want to visit northern and eastern part of India, but due to some responsibilities, I can't stay a single day from my home. but I'm happy in my own created world. While traveling, when I see rivers, ponds, lakes, waterfalls, beaches, forest, I immediately take a halt, spend some time there, and then only I proceed further. While traveling, I always forget to take photographs as I try to store or I try to experience every moment within. Now, I'm going to make Saili ma'am the host. Saili ma'am is going to tell you more about her hobbies and then about Indian culture. Over to Saili ma'am.
Okay. Welcome, all dear participants, in our fifth session, India Bangladesh Telecollaboration Project 2021. Today, we are going to talk about our free time and our culture. And in the second session, we are going to talk about the good health and well-being. So, what I do in my free time? My hobbies are, of course, I spend my time in reading. I like to read all kinds of books, newspaper, magazines. I like to travel, as we have talked a lot more about it. Traveling is my passion. I want to see the whole world before my last breath. And this is also my hobby, one of the hobbies, cooking. I like cooking. I like experimenting different experiments in my kitchen, and from YouTube I go on searching new dishes, and I go on pleasing my family members, and they too admire and they too help me in this kitchen work. This is also one of the hobbies. When I go to my brother's home, I go to my his farm, my brother's farm, and there we spend a very beautiful time in the company of nature. So I like to work in the farm too. This is also one of my hobbies, to take part in the different competitions. When in 2018, I participated in Mrs. Nashik Icon competition, and I won the prize of Royal Beauty there. This is also my one of the hobbies, singing and playing tabla, though I do not sing too good, or though I can't play tabla skillfully, because I need to practice it again. So, but it's my favorite pastime, singing and playing tabla or listening music. Trekking is also one of my hobbies. The pic which is there in the snap is shooted on is snapped on the peak of Brahmagiri mountain, which is known as the origin of Godavari river, and it is not the highest mountain in Maharashtra, but it is too high to climb there. But we like trekking, and mostly this place is very beautiful to visit during July and August, in these 2 months, because we see clouds not above our head, but we see clouds below the height which we climb. and beautiful misty atmosphere, very rainy atmosphere is created there at the top of the mountain. So it is very beautiful, scenic surrounding is there on Brahmagiri mountain. Teaching is also my one of the hobbies. I like to teach very much, and I can teach from morning to evening continuously. Means that kind of stamina is there in me because I love teaching very much. Okay, where would you like to go? I would like to go to Norway or Finland. Why would I like to go there? To experience the northern lights. What do you like to do when you travel? I like to interact with people. I like to know more about their culture. I like to taste their local food. I like to shop. Yes, shopping is also one of my hobbies. Okay, Indian culture. These are which you are. Can you see my screen? Yes. Okay. So
Yes.
these are the variety of aspects of Indian culture. Means different kinds of festivals are there in our culture. Dances, as we have talked about only the classical dance forms. Music. Two types of music is there. Karnataki music, which is very famous in the south part of India, and Hindustani music, which is very popular in the north part of India. So these two forms are the major forms of music in India. And I like to listen music very much, particularly the songs of Hindi films. And as I have joined the singing class from last 2 years, we sing Marathi songs too, or we have learned the occasional songs. Mean if the baby takes birth in the home, which song we should sing at that time. If birthday party is there, which song we should sing at that time. If the marriage function is there, which song should we sing at that time. In this way, occasional songs we have learned. Then about painting. Painting is very much famous in India. There are famous paintings like in our Maharashtra, there is Warli painting. Warli painting is created, or it is recognized to the world by Warli tribe. Warli tribe lives in some part of our district, and it is the beautiful painting. Means no colors are used, and only the white color on the what we can say maroon paint base is there, paint red base is there, and on that muddy wall of the huts, this painting is done. That is called Warli painting. Then Madhubani painting is very famous in India. Kalighat painting is famous. Rajasthani miniature painting is famous. Gond painting. Gond is also one of the tribes in India. So these people have invented, or these people have introduced the world the Gond painting. Then Kalamkari painting is there. Kalighat painting is also known as Bangalpat, which is discovered by some unknown artist, and Madhubani painting is discovered by Bhawa Devi. So when we go to the educational tours, we visit the museums, and surely in India, in the museums, you will find all these kinds of paintings there. Then about Indian literature. Literature is means before independence and after independence. It is divided into two parts. Again, in ancient literature, Ramayana, Mahabharata, Purva Mimamsa Sutras, Bhagavad Gita, these books are very famous. But before independence, means in the ancient period when there was no pen and paper was invented at that time, Veda Sanskriti was existing in the ancient India, and Vedas were created in those days by Vyasas. It, uh, it is means not a single writer who has created Vedas, means 15th before Christ up to 5th of before Christ. These Vedas were transferred orally from one generation to the other. Means after 5th AD, it was written. Means Vedas were written. There are 4 Vedas: Rigved, Samved, Atharvaved, and Yajurved. Means all life aspects are depicted in these Vedas, from birth to death. Each and every field which is related to man's life is there. Means principles are there. How to lead successful life is there. How to do the successful business, it is there. How to adore God, it is there. What hymns one should chant while adoring the God, these hymns are there. Means everything is there in the 4 Vedas. So maths is also a very nice aspect of Indian culture. In maths, number 1 mathematician is Srinivas Ramanujan. Then Aryabhatta, Brahmagupta, Bhaskara II, Varaha Mihira. These were also mathematicians. Bhaskara II has great contribution in Indian mathematics. Means he has discovered algebra, arithmetic, then geometry and trigonometry. Zero appeared first in Mesopotamia in 3 before Christ. Then it was invented in 4th before Christ, and by India it is devised in the 5th century. And then after India, the zero was spread in Cambodia in the 7th century, and after Cambodia, the zero was carried on by China and Islamic countries. Madam, meeting is going to end after 4 minutes, so we have to rejoin.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Hi.
Yes.
Sports are there. Cuisines, we have a lot talked about the special Indian food. Languages, after independence, 22 languages are sanctioned by our constitution. Then Indian movies are very famous in the world. When we went to Egypt, whenever people were Egyptian people were looking at us, they, without telling, they were identifying us that you are Indian, but they were not saying that you like this, that you are Indian or you are from India. They were saying, oh, Amitabh Bachchan, oh, Shah Rukh Khan, oh, Salman Khan. In this way, this was our identification in the Egypt country. So our movies have made us very famous in the world. About the festival, we too have talked a lot about the festivals, but in Maharashtra particularly, Ganpati festival is there. So we adore Ganpati, and in Mumbai or in Mumbai there is a long holiday of 10 to 12 days for this festival. But we remaining part of our Maharashtra, we get holidays of 2 days. So this God Ganpati is adored, as Ganpati is known for his talent, for his intellect. So Ganpati is the most talented God in our Hindu religion. So we prepare different kinds of dishes, and on the third day, means as Ganpati arrives from the heaven to the earth, after its third day, his wife Gauri too arrives on the earth, and both husband and wife are adored for 5 days continuously, prepare different dishes, sung the religious songs, then dances are performed in front of them, God and goddesses, God and goddess, and in this way we celebrate Ganapati festival for 10 days. But these festivals bring together all kinds of people, irrespective of their caste, religion, language, or economical status, or everything. We forget all these barricades, and we get together to celebrate all these festivals or all these religious functions together. So these all festivals are the symbol of unity in India. This is Nashik Dol. Nashik Dol, when you will search on Google by writing Nashik Dol, then you will find information about it. Means Nashik Dol. Nashik means I am or Vidyamam particularly belong to this district, Nashik. And this Nashik Dol is very famous in the world, which has particular rhythm, which has particular style to beat this Dol. So Dhol means drum. So this Nashik Dhol is very famous. You on Google you can listen its melodious rhythm. Like Ganpati festival, which is there in Maharashtra, Baisakhi is there in Punjab, then Durga Puja is there in West Bengal, Onam is there in Kerala. In this way, different kinds of festivals are celebrated in different parts of India. So India is also known for its variety of festivals and unity in diversity. These three are our national festivals. 2nd October. 2nd October is the birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhiji. Mahatma Gandhiji's original name was Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. He is Mahatma. Mahatma means people called him Mahatma because his behavior, his attire, his thinking, his principle, and his whole life he devoted for the welfare of society, and he was the true freedom fighter. He led his life with the principles which he taught to not only the Indians but to the world. The principles were ahimsa. Ahimsa means non-violence. Satya, truth. Sahakar means cooperation. So these values was taught by him, and he himself led the life with these values. When he came from London after passing his exam of barrister, he was from the royal family. But when he traveled across India and he saw that people are so poor in the India that they don't have even a piece of cloth to wear on their body. So from that day, he sacrificed the Western style of tie and coat and suit and boot, everything, and he just wore a lion cloth till the death of his till the last breath of his life. So Gandhiji is that's why people started calling him Mahatma. Mahatma means Mahanatma. Mahanatma means a great soul. But Gandhiji said, no, I am not a Mahatma. I am not a great soul. I'm a simple and ordinary person. But still, really, even today, really, Mahatma Gandhiji is a Mahatma for all of us. That's why on the 2nd October, on his birth anniversary, though whole India celebrates a holiday, but in our school we gather early in the morning, 7:30 a.m. and we celebrate the birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhiji. by cleaning the whole school and premises, and in the assembly we sing the bhajans which are very famous and which are sung by Lata Mangeshkar. The Gana Kokila of India means so many Hindi songs, thousands of Hindi songs are sung by Lata Mangeshkar, and she is very popular not only in the India but the whole world. So this is the bhajan sung by Lata Didi. This bhajan is written by Gandhi ji. I'm trying to sing. वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए पीड़ पराई जाने रे वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए पीड़ पराई जाने रे पर दुखे उपकार करे तोए मन अभिमान ना आणे रे वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए पीड़ पराई जाने रे. It means Vaishnava is the person who cares for others and who helps and who is very sympathetic towards others' sorrows. That person is called a Vaishnava. And the person, that Vaishnava, is very benevolent to others. But though he is so helpful to others, but he is not at all proud, that person is called a Vaishnava. And again his second bhajan is very popular in India. पायो जी मैंने राम रतन धन पायो पायो जी मैंने राम रतन धन पायो means I have got the blessings of God which are similar to me as diamonds, jewels or gold. So this is the meaning of this bhajan, particularly written to adore the God. So so many bhajans are there. We sing these bhajans. Hello. Okay. Sir, again the host disabled participant screen sharing. Again you have to make me host.
Yeah, madam.
Hello.
I did,
Okay.
madam.
Okay, thank you. So can you see my screen, sir? Can you see?
No, ma'am. No.
No, ma'am.
Escape. Yes. ये क्या वीडियो? Okay. Now, madam, can you see? Can you see my screen, ma'am?
Yes, yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So this was all about the celebration of our first national festival, that is the birth anniversary of Gandhiji, who because of whom we got freedom on 50th of August 1947. Hello.
Yeah, ma'am. We can hear.
Yes, continue. You can continue.
Okay. So after I think Indian freedom fighting movement might be the largest freedom fighting movement in the world, because we fought against the British rulers not only for 5, 10 or 50 years, but for 150 years continuously we fought for the freedom. So this is the largest freedom fighting movement on the earth. after independence on 26th of January 1950, we adopted the constitution for our nation, India. And from that day, our India is known as the Republic nation into the world. So our constitution is the largest written constitution in the world. So we celebrate this day, 26th January, as the Republic Day of India. On 26th November, our students are playing museum. Are playing lazim. This is the lazim dance, and this is the playground of our school. These are the Indian costumes. This is Kashmiri dress, and ornaments are also again different. This is this dress is worn in the auspicious occasions, marriage like functions. This is Meghalaya costume. This is Gujarati costume, and this is very famous in Maharashtra. But nowadays, this is the longest cloth, which is called Nawari sari. It's a type of sari which is worn in this way in Maharashtra. But nowadays, this is largely worn in by the women living in rural part of India, or rural part of Maharashtra. So Indian literature, we have talked about it. Yoga, yoga and Ayurveda are at great demand at the international level, and people are very much from the world are interested to know more about yoga and Ayurveda. So many people come visit to India to learn this yoga technique. He is our spiritual guru, who belongs to Gujarat, and he has created Yoga Vidyalaya at Baroda in Gujarat, and so many yoga teachers are trained in that school, who get job as a yoga teacher in all over the world. So this is very famous. Due to the initiative of India on 21st of June, this International Yoga Day is celebrated in India. This is also blowing Shankh is one of the exercises which strengthens our lungs, our heart. प्ले नहीं होते व्हिडिओ, काय माहिती. सेटअप प्रोफेशनल ऑडिओ इन सिटिंग, सेटअप प्रोफेशनल ऑडिओ इन ऑडिओ. Madam, can you listen it?
No.
Hello, madam.
No sound, ma'am.
No,
Can you listen it
no audio is there.
now?
No, not.
ऐकायला येत नाही त्यांना. आणि दिसतंय का मॅडम?
Yes.
ओके, ऑडियो नहीं है. Cancel. Screen sharing. Okay. That's all from my side. So, whom shall I make host?
Make Zuha sir the host.
Okay. Should we listen to the students so that they will quit or they can quit? What to do?
Yes, ma'am. We can listen them.
Okay. Then hello,
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
madam. How screen का नाही दिसत पुढे.
Stop your sharing first.
अहो, स्क्रीन फुल का नाही दिसत आहे. हॅलो चेतन. हॅलो
हा
चेतन.
बोला टीचर. हो येस येस.
हा, व्हिडिओ ऑन कर तुझा आणि यू कॅन ऑन युअर व्हिडिओ अँड अनम्यूट युअर सेल्फ. ओके.
हो हो.
हॅलो चेतन.
हा येस टीचर.
Will you share how do you spend your leisure time or what do you think about your culture?
येस येस.
Okay.
टीचर गुड इव्हनिंग ऑल द ऑडियन्स. मिस्टर झोया सर, विद्या पगार मॅम and महाजन ma'am. I like to spend my time with my mother. I always help my mother in various types, but my favorite help in to my mother is help in cooking. I like to cook various foods, but I unable to cook independently, so my mother always help me to cook various foods. I also like to watch cricket highlights. I always watch various types of cricket matches. uh, I also spend my free time in singing poems. And also I like to watch Ramayana, Mahabharata, as well as do their reading. And then I am going to talk about our Indian culture. We all know that the Indian culture is well known in all. It is the popular also. Many cultures are extinct by passing years, but the Indian culture is still going strong. I think it is the great achievement for all of the Indians. It is a very precious things in our India. Indian culture has established a solid existence in all over the world. Uh, I think it's my fortune to birth in the country like India, where the Indian culture is established. The various festivals in the Indian countries are more than the festivals. They come with joy as well as their own importance. Uh, various Indian culture festivals teaches us to make the human perfect being. So we can help each other. Indian culture has established epitome of unity in front of all over the India. In the Indian culture, there is a special importance to the nature. We we learn various things from the nature. Example, we worship to the Tulsi. Also, the King Cobra in India, we said Nag Devta. We worship to the Nag Devta. Also, the Indian culture has uh, gives us various values about our health. We like the yoga sanas help us to keep our body clean and fit. Also, the various plays like the Gulabo Sutabo and Katputlis are are the parts of our environment. The Indian culture is the best culture which help us to rebuild ourselves. It always it always lead our
Hello, Chetan.
all the in.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Your internet
Yes,
is
yes.
weak, I think. We are not able to listen the clear sentence. One word is vanishing and the other word is audible in this way. So, okay, very nicely you have said
Oh.
about your free time and about your culture. So
Yes,
we
yes.
can ask.
Ma'am, I have a question. I want to question something to Chetan.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Chetan, do you listen? Hmm.
Yes, yes.
Chetan, how are you? Chetan, can you
I'm
hear
fine,
me?
sir.
Okay, thank you. I just want to know. I
Yes,
just,
yes.
I,
Yes, sir.
I just want to know. Do you watch cartoons?
Yes.
Because you didn't
Yes, sir.
mention about it. I know there are a
Hmm.
lot of famous cartoons from India, and it is very popular in Bangladesh.
Yes, yes.
And Motu Patri is one
Yes.
of them. My daughter is
Yes,
very
I
fond
too
of it.
like it.
My daughter is very
Motopati.
fond of it.
Yes, yes.
Uh,
Yes, yes.
Chetan didn't mention it. That's why I just wanna
Chota Bheem.
ask.
Motu
Yeah, yeah,
Patlu.
yeah, yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Chetan. Chetan,
Thank
you
you.
shared
Thanks,
your
ma'am.
thoughts, your hobbies.
Welcome.
Chetan, you shared your thoughts, your hobbies. You talked about Indian culture. Thanks for participating in this tele-collaboration project.
Madam, again,
Thanks, thanks.
Anushka. Anushka Nikumbe is also there. Hello, Anushka. Hello. Hello.
Hello,
Ha.
ma'am.
Ha. Hello. Uh,
Hello.
sir, should we ask her to share her?
Of course, ma'am. We want
Ma'am?
to learn.
Okay, okay. Okay, Anushka.
Yes, yes, you can.
Hello, sir. Hello, ma'am. In my free time, I love to do drawing, painting. I really love to read books. Also, I watch some talk shows, English talk shows to improve my English skill. I also love listening music so much. So, also Indian music and foreign music, I love to listen. Uh, I also love to travel, as Saili Mahajan teacher mentioned. Traveling is my passion, and I also want to travel the world. Um, In free time, I also help my mother spend my time with my family, do some households and stuff like that. I also love to do craft activities, decorate my home, and etc.
About culture?
And about Indian culture. So I really love our Indian culture. It's really beautiful in its own way. Indian culture is the one of the ancient culture in the world. About 48 cultures around the world have got instinct in the period of lots of time and years. So, and Indian culture have so many different festivals, so many different kinds of religions, dance, music, food, then various languages. And I really love to discover and explore more about various type of Indian religions and languages. Um, Indian epics are so incredible. Indian epics have a powerful positive message of humanity, which is very useful for today's world. And I also love the versatility of India, the beauty of various religions, and the beauty of nature. And I really love the Indian culture so much. Thank you.
Thanks, Anushka.
Thank you, Anushka.
I just want
Welcome,
to know
ma'am.
I just want to know
Yes, sir.
what do we want to be in
Huh.
future.
I really love to be a traveler,
Oh,
to be honest, but I love to do some artistic things. So I want to be an interior designer. So
Thank you, Anushka.
Nice to see you.
welcome,
Yes.
sir. Thank you, ma'am.
sir, Joa sir, I have made you host.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, will you stop your screen sharing?
Okay, I have not stopped. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Can you see my screen, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Yes, we can see.
Okay, thank you. Tonight is our fifth session. It's about free time and culture. It's about our culture,
Sir,
about hobbies.
the slide. Sir, slide. Joa sir slide is not played on the screen. It is at the left side of the screen.
Okay, I'm checking, ma'am.
No, I can see. It is in the middle of the screen.
Okay, but I don't.
Then there is problem with your PC.
Okay, with my PC. Okay.
Can you continue, ma'am?
You can continue, sir.
Okay,
Sir,
thank you.
Yes, you
continue.
can continue, sir.
Sir, yes. अहो मला स्क्रीन नाही दिसत आहे
Uh, um, I told you before that my hobbies are more.
स्टॉप शेअरिंग
It's not fixed. I like watch games like football, cricket, tennis. Mostly, I'm a big fan of football, and you can see the picture. I'm a big fan of the Spanish club Real Madrid also, and here's some pictures of my favorite player. You can see Zinedine Zidane, Raúl González, Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi. These are my favorite football player, and I like cricket also. I think Cricket is very popular in India, Bangladesh, and Sri Lanka. Uh, in Bangladesh, cricket is also very famous, but football is more than cricket. And we have a few world popular cricketer. One of them is Shakib Al Hasan. Do you hear his name?
No.
Oh,
Yes, yes, yes.
he's one of the best all-rounder in the world now.
Okay.
I also like to enjoy music when I'm free. I enjoy different type of musics. Mainly now I enjoy most Bollywood songs. Although I like country music, classical, religious, folk song, pop, heavy metal, Bollywood music, etc. It depends on mood when what type of song I will enjoy. But maximum time I enjoy with Bollywood movie songs. These
Thank you,
are
sir.
so nice to me. I can spend all my night with this music. It's practical. I did this sometime. And Bangladeshi music, uh, different kind of music in here in Bangladesh. The main genres are classical, Rabindra Sangeet, Nazrul Giti, folk songs, Adhunik Gan, and modern music with Western influences. Rabindranath Tagore. Uh, like his
Yes,
song.
sir.
We like his
Yes,
song
yes.
very much. His
Ekla
poems.
chalo,
His
ekla chalo,
Yeah, ma'am.
ekla
Yeah.
chalo re.
And we have a national anthem from Rabindranath Tagore.
Yes, we too have. We too.
Yeah. In Bangladesh, folk music showcases a great variety with songs being composed on the culture, festivals, view of life, nature, and social issues. This genre is different from other music genres not only because of its distinctive mood but also because of the richness of its seventh note. These are some famous folk singer from Bangladesh. You can see on the Abdur Rahman Boyati, Rathindranath Roy, Farida Parveen, Ferdowsi Rahman, Shah Abdul Karim, Mumtaz Begum. These all are folk singer, and they are all
Oh,
famous. And this singer sings modern
modern.
song, and they are also very famous. You can see Ayub Bachchu. He died few years ago. He's a famous singer from Bangladesh, band singer. Band song is very famous. And Runa Laila, she's very famous from when we are in East Pakistan. Uh, before our independent, we were uh, East Pakistan, and that time she was very famous. I think she is famous also in India also. Runa Laila.
Yes.
And you see James, Shafin Ahmed, Asif Akbar, Andrew Kishore, Haider Hussain, Shufro Dev. These all are modern singer, and they are very famous. Travel. I like to travel, but not so far. I like to go uh, just near from my home, not so far from home. And you can see the picture of mosque. It's a mosque. It's called Choto Shona Mosque. It's called. It is located in Chapai Nawabganj district of Bangladesh. The mosque is situated about 3 kilometers south of the Kotwali Gate and zero point 0.5 kilometers to the southeast of the Mughal Tahakhana complex in the Firozpur quarter. Uh, it is a border place It's between Bangladesh and India. And if you come here anytime, you can see it's very near to border. And this is called Kushumba Masjid. We called it in Bengali Kushumba Masjid. That means Kushumba Mosque. We also called in Bengali Kushumba Shahi Masjid. Kushumba Mosque is a mosque in Manda Upazila of Nauga district, Bangladesh. It is from my home 30 kilometers away from my home. So I can go there anytime. It was built in 1558 to 59. Kushumba Mosque is named after the village of Kushumba. It was built during the period of Afghan rule in Bangladesh by a high-ranking official named Sulaiman. It was built under one of the last Shuri rulers. His name was Ghiyasuddin Bahadur Shah. Although the mosque was built under the Shuri rule, the architectural pattern was not influenced by the earlier Shuri architecture of North India. It was constructed with a Bengali style.
Okay.
Now you can see the picture, our father of the nation. We call him Bangabandhu, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. He is the father of our nation, and his daughter Sheikh Hasina,
Yes.
now she is Prime Minister of Bangladesh. And you know, he is very famous, and I think most of the Indian people know about him. I'm not sure, but I think so, because in Liberation War, India was the best friend of our country. They helped us a lot, and after 9 months fight, we achieved our independence. Sheikh Mujib was a Bangladeshi politician and statesman. He is called the father of the nation in Bangladesh. He served as the first president of Bangladesh and later as the prime minister of Bangladesh from 17th April 1971 until his assassination on 15th August in 1975. You know, I know that 15th August is the National Day for India, but it's a mourn day in Bangladesh. He is considered to be the driving force behind the independence of Bangladesh. He is popularly dubbed with the title of Bangabandhu. Bangabandhu, that means friend of Bengal, Banglar Bandhu, by the people of Bangladesh. He became a leading figure in and eventually the leader of the Awami League, that is his party. He founded in 1949 as an East Pakistan-based political party in Pakistan. Mujib is credited as an important figure in efforts to gain political autonomy for East Pakistan and later as the central figure behind the Bangladesh Liberation Movement and the Bangladesh Liberation War in 1971. Thus, he is regarded as Jatir Janok. Jatir Janok. It's in English, the father of the nation, or Jatir Pita of Bangladesh. His daughter Sheikh Hasina is current leader of Awami League and also the Prime Minister of Bangladesh. 26th March, that is our Independence Day. We observed this day starting with national anthem, and after that there are a lot of activities are going on, such like debate, games, singing competition, drawing, etc. The Independence Day of Bangladesh, taking place on 26th March, is a national holiday. It commemorates the country's declaration of independence from Pakistan in the early hours of 26th March in 1971. 16th December, we call it Victory Day. Victory Day is a national holiday in Bangladesh celebrated on December 16th to commemorate the victory of the Bangladesh forces over the Pakistan forces in the Bangladesh Liberation War in 1971. The commanding officer of the Pakistani forces, General A.K. Niazi, surrendered with his forces to the Allied forces of Bangladesh, which marked the end of the 9-month-long Bangladesh Liberation War and 1971 Bangladesh genocide and official cessions of East Pakistan into Bangladesh. This day and event is also commemorated across India as the Bijay Diwas or Honor Bangladeshi and Indian martyrs who laid down their lives in the war. So this is the history, a few memorable days in our countries which are observed with great activities, and we have a different culture but not different with Indian, same culture I think, but not so much because India is a big country and Bangladesh is a very small country. Although Bangladesh has a rich, diverse culture, its deeply rooted heritage is thoroughly reflected in its architecture, dance, literature, music, painting, and clothing. The three primary religions of Bangladesh, they are Hinduism, Buddhism, and Islam. And majority is there is Islam, and after that Hinduism. There are a few ethnic group also, such as Manipuri, Khashia, uh, and so on. So this is the history, culture of Bangladesh. So from me, it's for the night. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Ma'am, whom will I make host now?
Now we are going to see the second part of this session, that is about health and well-being. Saili ma'am will present the objectives and then I will present next part of it. So make her host.
Okay, okay. Shaili ma'am is now host.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Hello?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear.
Yes, we can
Okay,
hear.
okay. Is it visible, my screen?
No, only the,
Yes, ma'am, I can see.
yes, now.
Ensure healthy lives and promote well-being for all at all ages. Is it visible? Objective?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay,
yes.
thank you. So let's start our next session. It is about good health and well-being, and objective of this sustainable development goal is to ensure %, per 1 lakh live births, and its indicator is maternal mortality ratio, promotion of birth attended by skilled health personnel, and preventable deaths of newborns and children under 5 years of age, with all countries aiming to reduce national mortality to at least as low as 12 per thousand live births, and under 5 mortality to at least as low as 25 per thousand live births. And its indicators are mortality rate and natal mortality rate. By 2030, end the epidemic of AIDS, tuberculosis, malaria, and neglected tropical disease, and combat hepatitis, waterborne disease, and other communicable diseases. And its indicators are number of new HIV infections per thousand infected population by sex, age, and key population.
Ma'am, you are host now. Now you can continue.
Okay, sir. So, is it visible, sir? Screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
Malaria incidence per 1000 population, hepatitis B incidence per 1 lakh population, number of people requiring interventions against neglected tropical diseases. By 2030, reduce by 1/3 premature mortality from non-communicable disease through prevention and treatment, and promote mental health and well-being. And its indicator is mortality rate attributed to cardiovascular disease, cancer, diabetes, and chronic respiratory disease. Suicide mortality rate. Then next target is strengthen the prevention and treatment of substance abuse, including narcotic drug abuse and harmful use of alcohol, and its indicator is coverage of treatment, intervention, pharmacological, psychological, and rehabilitation, and aftercare services for substances use disorders. Alcohol per capita consumption aged 15 years and older within a calendar year in liter of pure alcohol. By 2030, the number of global deaths and injuries from road traffic accidents and death rate due to road traffic injuries. By 2030, ensure universal access to sexual and reproductive healthcare services, including for family planning, information, and education, and the integration of reproductive health into national strategies and programs. Its indicators as proportion of women of reproductive age who have their need for family planning satisfied with modern methods. Adolescent birth rate means 10 to 14 years, aged between 15 to 19 years per 1,000 women in that group. So next target is achieve universal health coverage, including financial risk protection, access to quality essential healthcare services, and access to safe, effective, quality, and affordable essential medicines and vaccines for all. Its indicator is coverage of essential health services, promotion of population with large household expenditures on health as a share of total household expenditure or income. Next target is by 2030, sustainability, reduce the number of deaths and illnesses from hazardous chemical and air, water, and soil pollution and contamination. And its indicator is mortality rate attributed to household and ambient air pollution, mortality rate attributed to unsafe water, unsafe sanitary and lack of hygiene, exposure to unsafe water, sanitization, and hygiene for all. So wash services. So mortality rate attributed to unintentional poisoning. Next target is to strengthen the implementation of the World Health Organization framework convention on tobacco control in all countries as appropriate, and its indicator is age standardized prevalence of current tobacco use among persons aged 15 years and older. Support the research and development of vaccines and medicines for the communicable and non-communicable diseases that primarily affect developing countries. Provide access to affordable essential medicines and vaccines in accordance with the Doha declarations on the TRIPS agreement and public health, which affirms the right of developing countries to use the full provisions in the agreement on trade-related accepts of intellectual property rights regarding flexibilities to protect public health and in particular provide access to medicines for all. So age standard indicators are age standardized prevalence of current tobacco use among persons aged 15 years, proportion of the target population covered by all vaccines including in their national programs, total net officials development assistance to medical research and basic health sectors, and next indicator is proportion of health facilities that have a core set of relevant essential medicines available and affordable on the sustainable basis. Next target is substantially increase health financing and recruitment, development, training and retention of the health workforce in developing countries, especially in least developed countries and small island developing states, and its indicator is health worker density and distribution. Last target is strengthen the capacity of all the countries, in particular developing countries for early warning, risk reduction and management of national and global health risks. And its indicators are international health regulations, IHR capacity and health emergency preparedness, and percentage of bloodstream infections due to selected antimicrobial resistant organisms. So this was all from my side.
Okay, ma'am, now make me host.
Yes, okay. Yes, madam, you are host now.
Okay. Now I'm going to continue. Can you see my screen, sir?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Now we are going to see the second part of it. Just now, Saili ma'am has read the objectives and targets. Now we are going to see the current status. Then what is the status, figures of good health and well-being of our country from India and Bangladesh. What steps are being implemented by India and Bangladesh to improve good health and well-being, and then tell some names of local, national and international organizations which are working to improve good health and well-being in India and Bangladesh. Okay, I'm going to explain it from India and Zoha sir will explain it from Bangladesh. Now, what is meant by good health and well-being? The World Health Organization means who defines health as state of complete physical, mental and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. That is the definition of well-being, good health and well-being. Now, current status of good health and well-being. Look here, there are some inadequacies in India healthcare system, but I'm not going to take it detail as there is no time. Paucity of resources means doctors works in extreme conditions, ranging from overcrowded outpatient departments, inadequate staff, medicines, and infrastructure. Ranging from then doctor-patient ratio. India has only 10 lakh registered doctors to cater to 1.3 billion citizens, while urban areas have 58% qualified doctors. In rural areas, the number is as low as 18.8%. There is one government doctor for every 10,189 people, according to WHO, against the recommended ratio of 1 to 1,000. Unaffordable treatments, then doctor-patient relation is not fair, then risk of epidemic. These are the problems India is facing. Now, also ineffective implementation of laws and cracks. Cracks means the shortage of trained doctors has led to a rapid increase in number of unqualified quacks. These are the inadequacies in India. Now, figures of good health and well-being in India. India has made some progress in reducing its under 5 mortality rate, which declined from 125 per 1,000 live births in 1990-91 to 50 per 1,000 live births in 2015 and 16. And its maternal mortality rate, which declined from 212 per 1 lakh live births in 2007-09 to 167 in 2013. Then, recent steps taken by the government to improve Indian healthcare system. National Health Mission. National Health Mission encompasses its two submissions, the National Rural Health Mission and National Urban Health Mission. The main programmatic components include health system strengthening in rural and urban areas, reproductive, maternal, neonatal, child and adolescent health, and communicable and non-communicable disease. Ayushman Bharat scheme to improve healthcare of Indian citizens. Government of India has launched world's largest healthcare scheme. Ayushman Bharat scheme. This scheme will reach to poorest people village to village. On 15th August 2018, Government of India has launched the world's largest social health insurance plan, Ayushman Bharat. The health insurance premium will be rupees 1,000 to 1,200 per family for a health coverage of rupees 5 lakhs per year. The next step is taken by the government is Jan Aushadhi. Pradhan Mantri Bharatiya Jan Aushadhi Pariyojana Kendra has been set up to provide genetic drugs which are available at lesser prices but are equivalent in quality and efficiency as expensive branded drugs. Efficacy. Then, National Medical Commission Bill, the top regulator of medical education. Ayush practitioners are allowed to practice allopathy after completing the bridge course. Support to states. Support is provided to states under NRHM, means National Rural Health Mission, to strengthen the health system, including establishment and renovation of health infrastructure, engagement of nurses, doctors, and specialists on contractual basis. The next step is taken, financial assistance. Financial assistance is provided to the states for selection and training of accredited social health activists, that is, we call it ASHA workers, who act as a link between community and healthcare facilities. The next step is taken by Indian government is Rajiv Gandhi Jeevanadayi Arogya Yojana. Launched on July 2nd, 2012, Rajiv Gandhi Jeevanadayi Arogya Yojana is flagship health insurance scheme of the state government of Maharashtra. Under the Rajiv Gandhi Jeevanadayi Arogya Yojana, families that are below poverty line, means that is BPL, and above poverty line, that is APL, are eligible for free medical care and hospitalization in the state of Maharashtra. The health insurance scheme covers beneficiaries residing in all the 36 districts of Maharashtra. The Rajiv Gandhi Yojana was launched with the objective to improve access to quality care for low-income families in the state. Under this health insurance scheme, beneficiary families in the state will be able to receive free medical services on 30 types of specialties, 971 surgeries, therapies, and procedures, along with 121 follow-up packages. The next step is taken. Rajiv Gandhi Vidyarthi Apghat Tanugraha Anudan Yojana. This is for the school-going children. In an attempt to ease the financial burden on students meeting with accidents, the state government has decided to provide them with an insurance cover under the Rajiv Gandhi Vidyarthi Apghat Sanugraha Anudan Yojana. Under this scheme, families of students who lose their lives in an accident will get financial benefit. The state government has started the insurance scheme for school students from 2003. Accidental death of student will get rupees 75,000. Permanent handicapped due to accident means 2 organs, 2 eyes, or 1 organ condemned will get rupees 50,000. Permanent handicapped due to accident 30,000. Medical expenditure due to accident will get maximum rupees 2,000. In this way, then the next is Aam Aadmi Bima Yojana by Government of India. The Aam Aadmi Bima Yojana covers the natural death, accidental death, permanent total disability, and partial permanent disability. The scheme provides coverage to individuals residing in rural areas and individuals who are below the poverty line. Launched on 2nd October 2007, the Aam Aadmi Bima Yojana provides social security to poor households that are not protected financially. The premium that has to be paid by a member is initially charged at rupees 200 per annum for each member for a basic cover of rupees 30,000. Half of this amount is subsidized from the Social Security Fund in case of a rural landless household. The remaining 50% premium is borne by the state government or union territory. Now we are going to see about some of the NGOs who are working in this field. NGOs in India that are putting forth outstanding work in the healthcare sector to empower people. That is, first one is HelpAge India, a leading charity working for the disadvantaged elderly of India. HelpAge India has been active for over 4 decades. It has one of the largest mobile healthcare programs across India, providing free healthcare services to destitute elders. Cataract surgeries are one of the cornerstones of this organization. Cataract is a leading cause of blindness in India. HelpAge conducts more than 45,000 eye surgeries for blind elderly across 21 states. This has helped over 9 lakh elders, not only restoration of eyesight, but also going back to work as independent individuals. HelpAge India also works towards providing resources to end stage cancer patients, pairing with several credible and competent hospitals. The organization helps the poor elderly who cannot afford expensive medication for cancer. The next NGO, CRY, means Child Rights and You. CRY works towards several causes for children, one of them being malnutrition. It introduced kitchen gardens in Anganwadis in Chhattisgarh to provide fresh and healthy food to children. This noble initiative of CRY has helped to see a decrease in number of malnourished children by about 9 to 10%. The next NGO is Smile Foundation. A group of young corporate professionals founded Smile Foundation in 2002. They began working from scratch to bring about a difference in the lives of unprivileged families and communities. Since urban slum dwellers lack the education to be aware of disease and healthcare, they do not approach hospitals for checkups out of risking days' wages. Smile has twofold approach to tackle this problem. They first bring quality healthcare services within easy access of the needy. The second step is to promote healthcare awareness and encourage the poor to seek help. Smile has a reach of 6 lakh children and families across 950 villages and slums of India. It has 200 projects on social causes like healthcare across 25 states of India. The next NGO is Udaan Welfare Foundation. Works towards quality healthcare, keeping in mind a positive impact on the environment. Health, nutrition, and wellness go hand in hand with education. Udaan runs a well-equipped health center for the semi-urban community, providing specialist consultations and dental services at the Saksham Community Center. Udan also conducts regular health, wellness, and awareness camps for children, women, and senior citizens. Nutritious snacks, rations are periodically provided for children, pregnant women, and senior citizens, as well as cancer patients. The next is Gunj. Gunj addresses the basic but neglected issues of the poor and values the traditional wisdom of the local people. Gunj has several campaigns, one of them being Share a Bite to Your Heart's Delight. It is a venture to encourage people to contribute daily essentials like rice, pulses, and so on to the less fortunate. This is an innovative step towards solving the problems of food shortage and thus nutrition among the poor. The next NGO is Deepalai, the largest NGO in the national capital of state of Delhi. Deepalai has been functional for over 3 decades. It promotes self-reliance with prime attention to women and children. It also works towards development of the urban and the rural poor population. Deepalai runs the Community Health Program, a project working towards spreading awareness of preventive and promotive health. It reaches out to the poor and underprivileged through projects like Chameli, Devan Memorial Rural Health and Mobile Clinic, Gushbethi. This comprises a mobile van that goes from village to village, fostering basic treatments and checkups to almost 80,000 people in Mewat. Then, some individuals working to improve good health and well-being. Now, Dr. Prakash Amte and Dr. Mandakini Amte, both are medical doctors and social workers from Maharashtra, India. Prakash Amte, along with his wife, moved to Hemal Kasha to start the Lok Biradari Prakalp, a project for the development of tribal people, most of whom were the Madia Gond people in the forest of Gadchiroli district. They lived and worked there for almost 20 years, performing emergency surgical procedures without electricity. The project transformed into a hospital, Lok Biradari Prakalpa Davakhana. The project provides health care to about 40,000 individuals annually free of cost. The next individual working, Abhay Bang and Rani Bang are Indian social activists and researchers working in the field of community health in Gadchiroli district of Maharashtra, India. They have reduced infant mortality rates in one of the most poverty-stricken areas in the world. They also run a mobile medical unit in the 48 tribal villages in the Dhanora block of Gadchiroli district and have a network of village volunteers trained in providing primary care in these villages. And you know that Gadchiroli is famous for its... Yes, ma'am? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Rani Bang has worked extensively on women's medical issues. She trained the dais in villages to make them village-level health workers. Abhay and Rani Bang were driving force for the movement of liquor ban in Gadchiroli district. And the last one, Ravindra Kohle and Smita Kohle are Indian social activists and doctors working for tribal people in remote village areas of Bairagar in Melghat region of Amravati district in Maharashtra. They charge a nominal fee of ₹1 for treatment and also run a government ration shop. Apart from medicinal help, the couple also makes general awareness campaigns for the tribals. The works of Kohle couple has resulted in reduction of infant mortality rate from 200 per 1,000 to 40 and preschool mortality rate from 400 per 1,000 to 10 in 2009. 19. Sorry, this is all from my side. Now it's over to Zuha sir.
No, Kamal sir, ma'am. Kamal sir.
Yes. Yes, Kamal sir is there. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
No, I can't see Kamal sir there. Yeah, by the name of Zia. Okay. Now we made Zuha sir, no? Okay.
Okay. Thank you. And
Welcome, sir.
sorry for that late. And I was too much busy and finished my work much hurry and I joined with you lastly. And now I starting my, can I starting my screen share?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
You
sir.
can.
We know that you are too busy person.
Can you see my screen?
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir, we can see.
Okay, thank you. Welcome to my presentation, and this is my presentation. My first presentation is my free time, and you see here some pictures with my friends. This picture I go with my friends one places. This picture is I gossiping with my friends. This is a selfie of my friends. My friends, all of are eating in a hotel,
Iftar party.
iftar party, and this picture is all are my friends. This is a Baul Mela, uh, one type of song singing here, and uh, and I think this is my on a free time. When I free, I love to spend my time with friends. You know, I talked it previous day, and my hobbies. You know, I talked you previous day. I loved, and my hobby is traveling.
Yes.
This picture is in a Howard, especially Tangwa is a very famous Howard in our country. This picture is Bandarban on hill tracks, and this picture is Sylhet, Jaflong, and this falls are in India, India Shillong. This falls, India Shillong. This picture is Kashmir. You see here snow, and I ride a horse. And this picture is Nuhash Pulli, our famous writer Humayun Ahmed. Humayun Ahmed's grader here. And this picture is Mohara Jomidar Bari, Jomidar's house is a famous place.
From Bangladesh?
Bangladesh, this picture is India, Kashmir.
No, the last one is.
Last one, you see a horse, I ride a horse.
No,
I'm
this
talking
one.
about this.
Sixth
Is
one.
it in-
Sixth.
Last picture, sir.
Last.
Last picture, you see a horse, I ride a
On
horse, and
on
you
your-
saw snow.
On your
Yeah,
right
we know
side,
that it
sir.
is from.
On your
We are
right.
talking about this.
Yeah.
Last picture. Last.
Last picture.
Yeah.
This picture is the longest series of the world, Cox's Bazar, with my colleagues at Prague University. This picture is Kuakata in Bangladesh. It also a seashore and a famous seashore of Bangladesh. This picture is Shat Gumbuz, Moscow. It's a historical and famous place in Bangladesh. And you see here a Buddhist temple,
Sleeping Buddha.
a sleeping Buddha. It's a Cox's Bazar, Ramu, Mukhia. And I visited many places also. Here some are shared with you. Here some pictures are shared with you. But I visited and many more places in several times. Some pictures are shared with you. Music and culture. Here you see I in a museum, Bangabandhu Jadughar called Muktijuddha Smriti Jadughar, Agargaon, Dhaka. And our culture, you see here football. A football team, girls football team in our primary school level students. And here you see Baul songs or Baul Mela. Here you see a Idgah, our Idul Fitr and Idul Adha. We pray our prayer in a mart. This is called Idgah field, Idgah mart. And another presentation you see here. It is a Jariga. You see, first picture is a picture there, Jari gun, and the second picture you see here a Baul Shangit. Here written in Bengali, Jalal Shonda. Jalal is a famous Baul artist. And the third picture is Kitchapala. This also our culture. Kitcha, Gaji Kalu, Champavati, and many others so on. Gaji Kalu, Champavati, Kitchapala. And last one is Jatrapala. You saw Jatra. Can you see this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
Are you familiar with Jatra?
No, sir.
Yes.
It's our Bengali culture. Jatra, Baulgan, Harigan, and Kitchapala. It's our Bengali culture.
Yes, you
Culture.
talked about Jatra. I listened at Jatra. Fair. Sorry. Sorry for that.
It's not only famous in Bangladesh, it's also famous in West Bengal, all over the West Bengal. Kolkata is famous for Jatrapala, and very famous artist also in West Bengal. They are play in our Bangladesh Jatra.
Okay.
And this is my first presentation. And can I start my second presentation?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
You can.
sir. Go ahead. You can.
I think
Yes, yes, sir.
I think you also finished first and second presentation, and I am the last one. Here you see what is the status figure of the good health and well-being of my country. Our population is 168 million. Rural population is 70%. Our 70% people are lived in rural area, and population density is 1070 per kilometer. Population doubling rate 25 to 30 years. After 25 to 30 years of doubling here, GDP US dollar is
300 billion.
300 billions. The second presentation, health indicators, CDR is 5.35 per 1000. Maternal mortality ratio is 175 per 1 lakh. IMR 31 per 1000 live births. Under 5 MR 38 per 1000 38 per 1000 live births. Total fertility rate is 2.1. Life expectancy at birth 71 male and 73 female.
Female.
What steps are being implemented by my government to improve good health and well-being? To ensure equitable healthcare for every resident in Bangladesh, an extensive network of health services has been established. Infrastructure of healthcare facilities can be divided into 3 levels: medical universities, medical college hospitals, and specialty hospitals exist at the territory level. District hospitals, maternal and child welfare centers are considered to be on the secondary level. Upazila health complexes, union health and family welfare centers, and community clinics, lowest level healthcare facilities. At the primary level healthcare providers, various NGOs and private institutions also contribute to this intricate network. The total expenditure on healthcare as a percentage of Bangladesh GDP was 2.37% in 2016. But now, in the parliamentary budget of 2017-18, the budget was set for the health sector was 16,023 crore, 36 lakh taka. There are 3 hospitals beds in 10,000 people. The general government expenditure in healthcare as a percentage of total government expenditure was 7.9% as of 2009. Citizens pay most of their healthcare bills as the out-of-pocket expenditure as a percentage of private expenditure on health, 96.5%. The doctor to population ratio is 1.2000, 1:2000. Doctor ratio 1:2000, and the nurse of population ratio is 1:5000.
1 to 5,000.
5,000. And level of care and types of health facility in Bangladesh: level of care, territory level, administrative unit, division or capital, and facility, teaching hospitals or institute. Secondary level, administrative unit, district, and facility, district hospital. And third is primary level, administrative unit is upazila or union
Yes.
or ward. And facility is Upazila Health Complex, Union Health and Family Welfare Centers, and Community Clinic. You know, present government provide at ward level our health services by community clinic, and this established in 2010 to till running. And I think this is my presentation, and thank you very much for ending my presentation.
Thank you, sir.